Welcome back to our podcast, The Cunning Buffoons. My name's Dylan.
I'm Andrew.
I'm Leslie.
I thought that was our neighbor. Nope. Oh,
Thought that was my weird person.
good evening, Leslie. We didn't name you after my grandfather. So what was your question?
I already forgot about it.
Oh, mother.
It was about a movie, though.
Yeah. What movie? Good movie, bad movie, scary movie, sad movie? You
Somebody
watching
named
Romance
Joe.
again?
I did watch a pretty good romance.
You're
movie
watching
last
some of
night.
that
I'm not gonna lie.
weird gay anime romance, aren't you?
It's not gay.
No, it was a romance movie that I was like, man, I'm gonna die alone.
Whoa. Was it like Untamed Hearts?
That's what
I don't know
all
what that
romance
is.
anime
That's
does.
I get married, like we jump the Nissan, we go on our honeymoon, and my wife's like, "You gotta watch this movie, it's amazing." It's called Untamed Hearts, right? And bro's all like, he's a like weirdo, but then he finds this chick, and they're all in. Isn't like Marissa Tomei or somebody? Yeah, he's like dating Marissa freaking Tomei, and they all fall in love, and like they're doing everything great. And the whole time he's like, "I got a monkey heart," and he fucking dies at the end of the movie. It's like, look at this awesome movie. They fell in love. She found someone. He found someone. Whoop, he's dead. Don't worry about it. It's just a ghost, man.
Cover my eyes.
It's Marissa Tomei and Christian Slater.
Yeah, but it's the stupidest. You're all like, this is so romantic. And I'm like, you want me to die.
No.
It's like I sent her the song Mexico by Incubus.
Hey,
I-
that's different.
I put it on one of the mixes, right? And of course, the song's like, I
You
mean,
hyped it a lot.
I guess terrible if you listen to the lyrics, but like I liked the melody of it and the guitar. I don't care about the lyrics. And so I put it on
It's
a
not
mix I made for her
terrible.
when we were dating. And she's all like, damn, he's fixing to take off to Mexico. I was like, this gringo ain't going to
You
Mexico.
only think about
Yourself.
At least you didn't send her rape me. So at least there's that.
rape me.
You can't rape the willing.
Rape.
That's what my
me,
mom said.
She's right. Anybody like there's a ton of females, and I've seen this personally because I've done a lot of like divorce ministry and stuff like that with guys getting through some nasty divorces and stuff over the years. But like I've seen instances where I've talked to people at work where like I have heard females sit around and talk about, oh well, I said he raped me because he wasn't good in bed. Like I was willing, like yeah, I done it like intentionally. I consented, but like he sucked, so I said he raped me.
Hmm.
It's like, bro, like that's messed up. Like just because you agreed to get on the roller coaster and you got hit with a fish from that little douchebag standing out, beside it throwing the fish, doesn't mean that the roller coaster is at fault. Like you agreed to shack up with a guy, he sucked in bed. That's not his fault. I mean, it kind of is, but like he shouldn't be like accused of rape because of it.
Yeah.
What are you reading, Mama? Rape cases?
No.
Oh, okay.
I was reading about the experiment thing.
Okay, read it to us. Listen to this experiment, guys.
That was not enough time to have my narrator ready.
You have a narrator over there? How many personalities do you have?
Universe 25 experiment. A series of rodent experiments showed that even with abundant food and water, personal space is essential to prevent social collapse. But Universe 25's relevance to humans remains disputed. June 22nd, 1972. John Calhoun stood over the abandoned husk of what had once been a thriving metropolis of thousands. Now the population had dwindled to just 122, and soon even these inhabitants would be dead. Calhoun wasn't the survivor of a natural disaster or nuclear meltdown. Rather, he was a researcher at the National Institute of Mental Health, conducting an experiment into the effects of overcrowding on mouse behavior. The results, laid bare at his feet, had taken years to play out. You want me to read this whole article?
Okay, you've got it set up.
Yeah.
And I'll like go with the gist of it.
Credit to thescientist.com.
Yes. And remember for me to copy that link so that I can put it in the description so people can go read it for themselves. Dude's like, okay, I want to do a like population. And so he gets rats and I think they start out like a couple hundred or whatever, like just one, but they build this like paradise for them. Like it's perfect. Abundant food, the temperature's perfect, like they got plenty of space, all this stuff. So like they breed like crazy.
Mhm.
Well, all of a sudden the population hits like 600 rats, right? And so like they're running out of space.
He started in 1968 with 4 mouse couples.
4 mouse couples, yeah. And so like they just keep growing and growing and growing. Well, at a certain population, when they run out of space and they start running out of personal space to be able to get away from others, like all of a sudden, like a lot of the female rats start like not breeding. The male rats start turning homosexual. Violence runs rampant. All the females quit acting like females and they're running around like eating things and like attacking each other. And like the society just starts to like this, rat utopia. Like they still got all the food and everything they need. They're just running out of room. And if I remember right, like during one of the parts of the experiment, like they took some of the rats out and like put them in a different place where they had plenty of space, and they still like died and were crazy. And like the human population, and they done some like instances where like they added rooms and stuff and like made different rooms to where like the rats could at least have like a burrowing space to like get away from the other rats. And like it improved the situation, but like when I was reading about it, looking into it, I was like, think about our cities. Like when you get these huge, dense populations of cities to where people cannot get away from people. Like you never have the ability. Like there's a difference between being isolated and lonely, right? And then there's being isolated and lonely, but always surrounded by people. And then there's also seeking connection, but like never not being able to distance yourself from a connection. So like if you look at the cities and the like giant center cities where like there's just millions of people, like that's got to play into the same type of behavior. Because like if you look at our society now, where does most of your liberal stuff come from? The cities.
I was going to say news. Never mind.
Well, I mean, yeah, but the news. But I mean, think about like where does all of it start? Where do the big pushes start? Like in the dense campus colleges, where do they manipulate all these people? Like you have this huge transgender and like homosexual movement and all this stuff that's just like exploding. But the epicenter of a lot of it, you look at, it's like these huge population areas. Because you think about it, we are animals in nature. Like if you take a woman and you give her like not enough nutrition and you make her unhealthy, she will quit having periods and she will not be able to have babies. Just like a goat or just like a lot of other animals, if there's not abundant food and like resources to reproduce, their bodies will shut that off. And so like that happens to human females too. So like we are special. We were given the breath of life by God. We were created by God to rule over the earth, but that we're still animals. Like he's still a God of order. So like when you pack that many people together, it affects how we react and interact with each other. I mean, think about it. Like we live out in the country. We spend a lot of time around other people, but also like Dylan, if you've got an afternoon off and you ain't got nothing to do and you want to be away from people, like what are your options?
My home.
Your home? You could come to our house and say, hey guys, I'm going to go to the woods with a hammock for a couple hours. I just need some alone time. And we'd be like, okay. You could be 10 minutes almost anywhere in Middle Tennessee except for Nashville. 10 minutes or less, you can be in nature and away from people.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of places on earth where it's getting to where you cannot do that. Like you cannot get away from people. Go ahead, Mom. You're still reading? If you want to talk about it, go ahead.
Okay, so in one of his other experiments he did, the rodents, I think this one was actually rats, but they developed innovative tunneling behaviors.
Yeah.
And they started tunneling to get away from
other rats. Yep. But think about that.
Maybe that's the one with Graham Hancock that we watched where they tunneled.
Oh, the underground?
Maybe
Hey, that
that's
could
why.
be. They could have been like, we're sick of these sumbitches. We're going underground. But then they crammed a bunch of people underground together. So, like, but I mean, like, the thing is, people don't realize, like, you look at societal problems and you look like where we go and like how things go belly up in different places like that. Like, where is the craziest crap that happens the fastest? It's always when you have a mass amount of people together. The more people you pack together, the stupider we get.
Herd mentality.
Yeah. Like I used to like we'd go to like raves and bonfires and like field parties and stuff. Like I DJ'd a lot when I was younger. And one of our favorite things to do was like you get 500 people in the field. They're all drinking, they're partying, there's music going. Like it's fun, right? So we get about 10 of us and we'd start at one end of the group. And we would take off through the middle of the group, just grabbing random people and just socking the crap out of them. And the goal was to hit enough people to get like the whole crowd to fighting, but make it out the other end to where you could turn around, grab a beer, and watch. that's not always the case. Like every now and then, like you're sailing through and you're doing great, and like some big bastard catches you before you can get out, and you're right in the middle of the melee. But like it's still just as fun. Like looking back, I'm an idiot, and like I wonder, like I limp in the morning like a 90-year-old man, even though like I ain't even 40 yet. Like there's a reason why.
Yeah.
But like,
That sounds fun. Malachi, you want to go do it?
yeah. But like,
No
if
partying.
if you got under 100 people, it doesn't work as well. You got to have enough people that once you get 4 or 5 to fighting that don't know why they're fighting. I mean, if someone socks you in the face, you're mad, you're already half drunk, you're going to start fighting. But you've got to get enough people going. Like once you get 4 to 5, you can have 1,000 people at each other's throats, beating at each other. But you got to get that 4 or 5.
That's cruel.
I've been in groups of people.
I would do it.
Everybody's all like,
Still cruel.
we're not going to do this. We're going to behave, blah, blah. All it takes is one charismatic son of a gun, which was usually me, to talk everybody into doing stupid stuff. Like, we're not going to jump off this bridge. We don't know what's below it. Yeah, gone. I'm off the back. Guess what? There's 4 more people behind me. Everybody else left on the, it's the Nazi mentality. Sure, you don't have to go into the Gestapo. You can go back there in the back. You can leave your friends up front. You don't have to participate with your friends. And they go, well, I don't want to be not part of the group. I don't want to like be ostracized from my peers. So they go on a camp and they start killing people. Like we are really, really messed up people. He was watching some of them experiments earlier. What were some of them? What was the one with the schizophrenics?
Oh, the doctor was giving schizophrenics LSD. Hey, do you see stuff? Do you want to see more stuff? I got you.
Why? Out of all the things in the world, you're like, hey, man, you're messed up and you're constantly plagued by crap that ain't there. Eat these shrooms. I'm going to shoot you in the arm with this LSD, and we're going to see what happens.
It's like, what do you think's gonna happen?
Wow, you're cured. Now the drugs are the reason you see
One of
shit.
them, they were giving kids. They were putting radiation in kids' oatmeal.
Yeah, it was sponsored by the
It was sponsored by Quaker Oats.
Quaker Oats. Yeah, it was radioactive oatmeal.
They were feeding it to kids.
There was one doctor that
It was
was
an
like,
experiment.
they were going to see, he was wanting to see if like the effects of radiation on tumors and stuff. Like he's out in Oak Ridge, right? It's Tennessee. And so he's putting, was it uranium? Yeah, uranium.
He put it in 11 people.
In syringes and just shooting them full of uranium. And like at the beginning of a little interview clip with him, he's like, yeah, it was a lot more deadly than I thought it was. Which, I mean, they shoot people up with radiation for, that anyways. But
I wonder what it tastes like. Spicy?
it is a really weird, like, metallic taste.
So kind of like blood a little bit, but like weirder maybe.
Imagine, like, blood is ketchup. The difference in the taste to me would be, because they shot me with a bunch of radioactive dye when they done my gallbladder test. And, like, they're like, your mouth's going to taste funny. It's like normal blood would be ketchup. Radioactive blood would be sriracha. Like, it's the same, but it's different. It's just odd,
Stop making.
Ketchup is nasty.
I like sriracha though. Sriracha's pretty good.
Sriracha's better than ketchup.
It depends on what you're
ketchup?
eating it on.
Ketchup is like a mid condiment.
Okay, check. Subway.
1, 2.
Flatbread,
Okay, yeah.
either steak or teriyaki chicken, your choice. Bacon, pepperoni, pepper jack cheese, sriracha.
Okay.
Best combination. I
All right.
promise.
All right, I got you. I got you, though.
Jalapenos if you're feeling spicy.
Steak and cheese. Okay. You do double meat, double cheese. You do pepperonis. You do the pepper jack, of course. You add the sriracha, but then you have them put the chipotle sauce on there. And then you have them covering jalapenos and bell peppers. And yeah. If you're like, I need to know how Mexicans are so skinny, go and be like, I'm going to eat a jar of jalapenos and as much spicy as I can.
Not all Mexicans are skinny.
Yeah, the ones that get immune to the
Redneck.
spicy aren't skinny. But like if you see a really skinny Mexican, ask him how much spicy stuff he eats. It's hard to be fat when like your guts are stripped clean by paint thinner jalapenos every day.
Yeah.
And like 1 or 2 is okay. Like one day is fine. But like I had a Mexican that worked with a brick crew that used to work with us a lot. That dude would eat like 6 jars of friggin' jalapenos a day. He sat out on the toilet. That's how callous his butt was, cheeks and all. You could hear him sit down in the porta potty. It's like, bro, you have got to be dying on the inside. He's like, nothing bad can live in me. And I'm like, yeah, because you got hell in your guts, man. They draw his blood, probably melt a syringe.
Light skinned Jay started following you
Who?
On my Instagram.
On your Instagram, light skin Jay? Light skin compared to what? Because I once got like literally cussed out and like called every name in the book because I called a Somali man black. You know, because I like incorporated him with a group of black people. I was like, you know, like they're black people because I was trying to explain to a guy like racial slurs. He didn't understand them. He didn't understand what they meant.
Yeah.
So it's a bunch of it. It's a Mexican guy. It's me. It's an old redneck. It's a bunch of black dudes, and we're trying to explain to this dude. But this Somali was with the black guys, and like you know, I referred to them as black guys, and dude, he's like no, and like his skin's as black as your shirt. He was like no, in Somalia, I'm the white guy. I'm from this side of Somalia. Them mother over there is the black, and I'm like, what? Yeah, he didn't make no sense. He's a chill dude though, but don't call him black, and don't shake his left hand. You know why?
I don't shake the left hand anyway.
Yeah, but don't shake a Somali's left hand. That's how they wipe their butt.
Hmm.
You go in some like Tyson's bathrooms and stuff like that. It used to be this way. I don't know if it still is. But like there'd be a bunch of cups of water sitting by the toilets. They don't use toilet paper. They just wipe their butt and clean it in the water.
I heard something. I'm sorry.
It was probably Lucy over there.
It sounded like something got disconnected.
What is
I don't know.
Lucy's voice? Mama, you got a voice for Lucy? You don't voice all the clown dolls? I do. Chester's like really crazy.
That's incredibly creepy. Please don't.
I know I'm not right in the head. My guitars used to talk to me, especially that one named Rachel. That
But did they
black
gently
bastard.
weep?
No, they screamed and yelled if I didn't play them enough. I think I probably should have been like locked up as a kid and like tested or something.
Maybe don't say that.
I'm not a kid anymore.
Maybe don't.
Probably starting to be locked up. And
Okay,
tested.
so did you ever watch the next Terrifier?
Third one?
Yeah.
No, not yet.
So the first two.
Would you throw up and run out of a theater?
Totally.
Shut up. Would you?
No, I was eating while watching it. I was like, dang, this is terrible. There's
What?
like blood and guts everywhere.
What?
Louise.
Wait.
It took you that long.
Yeah, it did.
Okay. I thought you was pointing at him excited because he was eating while watching a horror like.
No.
See, my wife is one of there's memes and like all types of freaking crap about it, but like the women who are like, I can't watch a horror movie, it's so scary. I'll be
I
like,
can't.
you want to watch this horror movie with me? She's like, no, but then I'll come in the living room and like
Messes with my head.
the daggum true crime documentary she's watching is like, this dude done some messed up. And it'll be describing it like he dismembered her piece by piece while having sensual sex with the corpse. And
Ugh.
it's like, that doesn't scare you? That's a real bastard. That mofo's from Memphis. That's a 4-hour drive. Like what? And she's like, I can't watch that movie about that ship full of ghosts. It's just because everybody gets decapitated real quick. What? Ah.
I got it.
I was like, that was my closest one yet, and I still.
Oh, he's getting professional now.
Know it already.
Oh my
Oh.
gosh! I would have made it, but freaking
I'm
silver
telling.
thread.
Okay, Malachi, if you will help me get the shop clean, what we will do is we will set up multiple cameras on multiple trash cans, so that it looks like just one trash can in every. But no matter where the hell we throw that, it's gonna hit a trash can, or to actually drop in between the little circle. We got to get square trash cans. We'll fix that. But or we get a giant funnel. We'd probably miss the damn funnel.
Nah, just leave that. I think we'll get that trash can eventually.
Do we not pick up the cans until the cans are above the trash can?
Yeah, I like that.
Had a God, what was that dude's name?
Dylan's mellow yellow is still on the ground, so
I know.
Had a guy named
So are my 2 water bottles.
I don't know if this was his real name or if we just called him this. His name was Rafe, right? College or like college age kid or whatever. He's in his 20s. He had his own house and everything, so he was doing good. But like him and a bunch of dudes lived in this house, and like they had this beer can tower that they had been working on for like 8 months, and I mean it went 20 foot out, like all the way up the big ceiling. Like it was huge, and like they had just finished it. And like as soon as I think they have maybe 1 or 2 cans left, but I mean it's darn near finished. And here comes this drunk fool. I love the beer tower, and like he trips, and like when you trip and you try to save yourself, it looked like he was intentionally like freaking Naruto running down the wall. Just yeah.
I'd
It
be
was.
mad.
Oh, they were. I don't know. Rafe and them were chill. They were the type of guys that, like, they would fight and, like, mess with each other, but like you could have lit the house on fire and they'd be like, "Oh damn, man, we gotta put that out." And then like other guys I hung out with would be like, "Why are you hitting him with a baseball bat?" And be like, "He looked at my grass." And it's like, what? Yeah, I've hung out with some weird people, man. Used to run with one dude. He'd light up a cigarette, walk through his house. Someone else would light it up. He'd smack that shit out of him. He'd be like, "What? You smoking?" He's like, "No, I smoke in my house." And it was just like I understand his mentality because he was like, "I don't want 100 people smoking in here." And it's like, but like, still kind of odd.
Yeah.
Like
It was a bit odd. Odd, not hard.
hot.
Odd. Odd.
I mean,
odd.
he was a pretty buff feller. Thing though was like he was a pitcher like all through high school and junk, and like a big time baseball player. So like when he slapped somebody, like he slapped the crap out of you. Like a 95-mile-an-hour fastball, that's his fist. Good dude though.
I don't know if I get slapped at 95 miles an hour. It's gonna. I'm not gonna like them.
So what do you think of the Black Plague masks? The plague doctors.
Yeah, the plague doctors. I like them more.
Do you actually know like why they wore them?
Some people say that's fake, but I think they wore them because it just makes me like, I want to imagine that if I'm dying of the bubonic plague, there's some bird-looking bastard walking around with his beak mask looking at me. Because when you're
So-
delirious with fever and dying, what else do you want?
What it is they thought if they breathed in air that smelt good, they wouldn't get sick.
They weren't wrong.
So what they would do is they would take like they would take scents. What do you call it? Like fragrances, and they'd
Yeah.
soak them and stuff, and they'd shove it down in the beak.
Take like eucalyptus and like
Yeah.
frankincense and myrrh and a lot of spices and stuff like that.
But they were still breathing in the air. It just smelled good.
But what made them come to the decision of a pro?
Well, no, it actually
It
did
had
work a little
purpose.
bit though.
Yeah, it was, and it was long, so you didn't get too close.
Yeah, but they actually did work because all the like cotton and crap they would use to soak all the scents in would like filter some of the crap.
And they carried the cane to like lift up their arms and.
Yeah. Imagine though, like you have what did that kill? 1/3 of the population?
Something like that.
Like, a third of the planet dies, right? They didn't close anything. Businesses weren't closed. The churches were still open. Like everything was chill. And now they're like, our governments were all like, we have 1 out of 100 million people dying of something that we think is killing them. Let's shut everything down.
Yeah, there was a YouTube video that was comparing the Black Plague to COVID. It's not even a comparison.
Yeah.
Not even close.
That's the only thing I was mad about with it, though. Like, it sounds bad, but, like, they were promising chaos and death and destruction. They were like, here's your plague. And then they were like, it killed 10 people.
When's the last time we had a plague?
20 years
The
ago. apparently.
Spanish flu.
Right? Isn't it every like 20 years, something like that?
No, not like a serious one. How many did the Spanish influenza kill in, like, 1912 or 20s or whatever? It
Well,
killed a
there
bunch
was
of
like
people.
the one that made you poop a lot.
Oh, Ebola?
Yeah.
That's never really been, it's just a scare. Now, it kills a shit ton of people over in Africa and stuff, but, like,
Yeah.
it's actually a curable disease. But the problem is...
Well, that's the one I remember before COVID.
Yeah, but see, it's never really, it was always a scare.
Everybody was scared of that.
According to Google, 50 to 100 million worldwide in 1918.
That was the last big plague.
Yeah.
Look, see what Google says.
And most of the people of that didn't die necessarily of the flu. They died of like secondary infections of bronchitis and pneumonia and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And it's the same like with the Ebola thing. They were terrified of it, and they try to do pandemics and scares all the time because a scared populace is easily controlled.
Yeah.
And like with the Ebola, there was a big scare in the early 2000s, I remember.
Okay. It was 2014 to 2016 in West Africa. How many did I just say for the Spanish flu?
Like 20 million.
50 to 100?
Yeah.
This resulted in 28,600 cases
Uh-huh.
and 11,300 deaths.
See what I'm saying? Like it
So
is
comparatively,
in a 3-year span, it killed 11,000 something people. But the thing is, they used it as this giant scare tactic to try to get everybody scared of it, right? The problem was during this scare, people were panic buying stuff, but they were panic buying food and everything like that. Do you know what we had plenty of? Toilet paper. A disease that, okay, look up Ebola or hemorrhagic fever and read the symptoms. Okay. This is a disease that literally like liquefies your freaking insides and they leak out all your pores. But everybody was terrified of it, but nobody was buying the one thing you need during a disease that causes you to shit your insides out till you die. Toilet paper. We have plenty of toilet paper. A disease that's supposed to be respiratory, give you the sniffles, bought all the toilet paper.
fever, fatigue, muscle pain, headache, sore throat, followed by vomiting, diarrhea, rash, and in some cases, internal and external bleeding.
Yeah. You can just bleed out and die through your tail. But nobody needed toilet paper for that. Oh no, I'm going to have a cold. Let's buy every scrap of toilet paper everywhere. Why?
I don't know. People don't make sense. COVID was stupid, in my opinion.
COVID was stupid. It was only stupider than Y2K because it was like the worldwide pan. We didn't shut shit down for Y2K.
No, we did not.
Like y'all,
we
y'all
were
are too
like-
young for Y2K, really. But like,
The world's going to come to an end.
2K.
Okay.
yeah, their assumption was because they didn't tell computers that there was going to be 2,000 years or whatever. It was something stupid. But basically, like when it swapped over to January 1st, it blah blah blah.
Between
2000,
1999
and
to
the year
2000.
Then like
was gonna-
everything, it was going to go back and think that like we're like year one, and like the computer systems, there's going to be planes falling out of the sky, grids, like all this chaos.
I remember watching it.
And like, but there were people that were like legitimately buying all this freaking. Well, they were freaking out, and it's like that computer don't give a damn if it's 1900 or 19 million years. It's going to do the same thing it's always done. The planes ain't going to fall out of the sky. Like you guys literally are saying we built something and we made it so retarded that it is going to destroy the world over a 1-year difference. I was drunk as a skunk playing laser tag in a giant church, and it was a blast. We had, like, I don't know. Okay. There's a church in town. What's it called?
How old were you?
You don't want to know. What's that church in town? The big one.
New Hope.
Jonathan Sims?
New Hope.
No, no.
Don't say people's names.
He was the pastor for a long time. I don't know if he still is. It's
First Baptist.
not
No.
First Baptist.
One next to Dairy
It
Queen.
does not matter.
I'm trying to give him the building.
Oh
'cause
no,
other-
one next to the pig.
Across
the pig thing.
from
The one next to the
carriage
Piggly
house.
Wiggly.
I know
The
what
giant
I don't know what
yes.
it's called.
They had that whole like back annex building, like 2 floors. The lights were cut out. They had furniture flipped
I've never
upside
been in
down.
there.
Like it is about the size or bigger than First Baptist. Just the building we were in, I think.
Yeah.
But like I said, they had 2 whole floors just messed up, lights flickering, strobe lights going, and we were playing laser tag. They had a jazz band going upstairs, like a trumpet quartet one kid. We had pool tables going. Now, granted, they didn't have alcohol and stuff there. Like I showed up messed up, but like it was a blast. And then they were like, "Oh yeah, New Year's was 10 minutes ago," and I'm like, "Well, nobody's dead." How old was I in 1999? Was that
How
before
old
or
was you?
after Mama got run over?
After.
Yeah, because she died in 98. I'd have been 13 or 14. Like, I think, somewhere in there. Why are you laughing at that?
So, Dylan, didn't y'all come to Longview, though, because your old church was trying to make y'all wear masks?
Yeah.
Which is so weird because they were so worried about that. How long were we shut down where you and him just went? 3 months? A month?
A while, yeah. I didn't really mind it, though. Like, I don't like people, so, like, I loved it.
Yeah, but
But, yeah, I don't think, and the thing was, there was a whole lot of, because, like, it wasn't just Longview and, like, our church at the time. It was a whole bunch of people that, I understand their mentality of erring on the side of caution.
yeah.
But at the same time, it was something that you could literally look at the statistics coming straight off the bat. You could look at every major news organization. You could be like, okay, everybody's saying like we've talked about last podcast. Like if everybody's in agreement, something's wrong. And absolutely every major news organization, every world, oh God, they're all freaking out. We're all going to die. No, we're not. Sorry. Like it's even if we are, there's no sense in shutting the world down because you're a little scared of something.
Yeah.
That'd be like if they're like, for sure, an asteroid is coming next week and it's going to hit Central America, and it's going to destroy half the continent. There's not a damn thing you can do about it.
Yeah.
Because an asteroid that big would make a global catastrophe. And the problem is, you would have people panicking. You would have people getting resourced. Like, people would be doing all types of stuff, trying to make sure that they survive. Because people are so worried about living that they forget that the goal of life is to eventually die. Like, you were born so that you could die. Period. That's what life is. Like, why do people cling to it so bad, freak out and panic and all this stuff? Like, it does no good.
I'd go buy a motorcycle and drive towards it.
I mean, if you're in a certain blast radius and you're not a like multi-billionaire, they're not going to lie you out. They wouldn't even tell you. And that's the thing too, that like with the crap, I forgot the name of the dadgum. What's that stupid virus we was talking about?
Y2K?
COVID.
Oh.
Y2K wasn't a virus.
I don't know.
It was a computer stupidity.
We're putting it up
It
against
wasn't even a
the COVID.
computer virus.
Yeah, it wasn't even a virus. It's just, we made our computers stupid. But like with COVID, they're like, you're all going to die. It's like, okay.
I couldn't
No,
even
they
name-
weren't. They were like, if you are in this age range and you have these pre-existing conditions, then you have a good chance of dying. But we want everybody to do this.
Yeah.
Just
And the bad part was what they were suggesting was exactly what they did in part of the Spanish flu. That all of the studies since then, that you could still pull up on the internet and read during all this crap starting, that said we made a mistake. Us trying to stop nature from being nature made it worse. If we'd have let it burn through rapidly, and like most viruses, from my understanding and research, I may be wrong, and if I am, like, somebody put a couple articles in the comments where I can read them because I like to study. But like most viruses, their goal is to be transferred and to live. So like a lot of viruses that will mutate the first time, like they're freakishly deadly, they will actually mutate very rapidly to be less deadly, because if they kill the host too fast or too many of the host, there's no more host.
Yeah.
Like viruses are very intelligent for these tiny little things. They're like destined to live. So a lot of times viruses will attack the female of a species less than they will a male. Because a female is the caregiver in 99% of species, humans and everything. So a lot of times, like, a man cold that women make fun of us for, no, like literally viruses will attack us harder a lot of times because we're not the ones that are going to run around and touch everybody.
But
we can
also,
kill him.
I think the running around and touching everybody like builds up our immunities naturally.
I just think you should not get sick.
Because like when our kids
Says
were
the guy who
little,
will have the flu tomorrow. But anyways,
when our kids were little, and one of them would get the flu, you would always get the flu. But
Yeah.
I would always hug y'all and take care of you and feed you, and I can't think of a time I had
Yeah,
the flu while
okay.
the kids were little.
but think about it. Every time you get sick, like fever and you're
Oh, yeah, I
actually
can.
sick,
One time.
what's the one thing you want to do to me? You want to make out. You get sick, you get to feeling bad, you want to make out.
If you don't like it, you can
You're sick for 2 days, I get the same sickness, it puts me down for 4 to 5. Every time.
work through the pain.
It doesn't work that way. You don't always have to work through the pain. Not always.
I remember one time I really wanted to go to church. I don't know why. I was like, I don't know. This is probably the most proud she's ever been of me. But I really wanted to go to church. And I was like, I woke up. I probably had the flu. I felt like crap. I was like, I'm not telling anybody. I went all day acting fine. I got home. I literally remember started crying. I was like, Mom, I feel terrible.
Yeah, but see, your mama's like that too. She'll be like, I'm not sick. And like, you can see it. She's dragging. She's feeling terrible. I'm not sick. And then all of a sudden, at one point, she'll be like, I'm sick. I can't do nothing. And it's like, you've been sick for 4 days. Your fever just broke, and you're actually getting better right now. And now you're going to admit that you were sick?
I usually just say, yeah, I'm sick.
Yeah, I mean, but Angel's one of my favorite reactions. She will come in there and be like, I don't feel good. I'm going to bed. She may sleep 12 hours. She may sleep 3 days. When she comes back out, she's fine. She doesn't want you to check on her. She doesn't want you to baby her. She's like, leave me alone. I'm hibernating. When I get done with my hibernation, I'll be better.
I just want food and to sit in my room.
I don't want
And
that.
that's different from, are you sick right now?
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't really spend that much time in my room anymore. Because I haven't played video games in forever. I canceled my...
So what stopped y'all with the video
Same.
games? Just gets old.
Repetitive to me.
Yeah.
I think we're just maturing.
I'm not.
Well, I quit playing them a lot when they quit putting out games like Final Fantasy X and Metal Gear. Games that had like a storyline and a plot and took a long time to, and you didn't have to get online to play them. Like you had an adventurous story. It's basically like playing a movie.
I
You
don't know.
I think you'd enjoy Monster Hunter series.
I mean, like, I still enjoy...
Same people who made Final Fantasy, Capcom. Whatever
I mean, I
you call
wouldn't mind checking it out. Yeah.
I still
like 'em.
enjoy video games, but just like, meh. Like, I could do that, or another thing is like playing. I don't like playing by myself, and like
I
I
do.
don't know enough people to every time I want to get on the game be like, get on this game or get on that game. And most of my friends play Fortnite, and I'm not playing that game. There's furries, man. When you
Dude,
get
there's furries everywhere.
When you get furries in games, I stop playing it.
I had a person like flat out ask me one time, and I'm in the middle of Walmart. I can't remember why I'm there. I'm by myself, and because I strike up random conversations with people because I don't know why I can't help myself. It's compulsion. But like 3 or 4 people were talking about, and they were, there was the furry looking heads, and then one of them was like, "Hey, where do we get the tails?" And the other one was like, we're not getting the tails, dude. He's like, yeah, if we're going to do this prank, we got to commit. And it's like, no. And then they were like, no, we're not getting the tails. And he's like, dude, they just strapped to your belt. And it's like, no. And then they were arguing, and they were like, you're lying. And like, I come in the middle of it and like, bro, them tails are held in by what they're saying they're held in by. And he's like, why would people do that? And I'm like, dude, do you even know what a furry is? He's like, it's just people that dress up as animals for fun. I'm like, oh, bro, get on Google when you're in the parking lot and you're on private browsing.
And just
Or
be
just
innocent.
Don't.
And just
yeah.
Google the definition. No, if
let
you're
people
going with
be
your friends to
innocent.
do a prank on some other friends and you're dressed up as a
Let
furry.
people be innocent.
Yeah, but the problem is innocent people are the ones who tell dirty jokes from pulpits because their minds don't think like everybody else. And
No,
there's,
maybe your mind doesn't think like everybody else's.
girl, you've been married for 22 years to me, and you just as dirty as I am.
I am not. I am not.
If I say whisker biscuit, what comes to your mind?
A catfish for some reason.
I have no idea what you're saying.
Whisker biscuit.
Nothing comes to
A
my mind.
catfish eating
Okay.
a biscuit.
Does it
Oh,
sound like if I looked at it and I said, "Dadgummit, whisker biscuit"? It sounds like a dirty word.
I'm with them. I'm
It's
not.
the little thing that your arrow sits in on a bow.
Yeah.
It's because it's a biscuit shape and it's got a bunch of whiskers on it, right? But if I yell out, "You're a whisker biscuit," I'm not calling you a thing that holds an arrow straight while I fire it. You're going to think I'm saying something dirty. There's a commercial right now for
Stop.
age-related macular degeneration, okay? But there's a version of it called wet AMD. And the commercial, the lady's like, if you think you have wet AMD, I don't know what it is, but dadgummit, I don't want it because I got it from somebody that was dirty. There's another commercial for fertilization. It's a lawn thing, like for fertilizing your lawn and seed. And the commercial opens up. And Kiri, my 13-year-old child who lives in her own world and is innocent, this commercial starts. It's got 2 guys hugging, and it goes, first-rate fertilization. And my 13-year-old that is really innocent and doesn't have a dirty mind turns around and goes, that is not the way to start a commercial. Like,
It's not.
you don't have to be necessarily dirty-minded for things to be, like, our society is messed up.
Agreed.
And no matter what you try to not expose yourself to, even if you're clean-minded, you have to, in certain situations, understand what you're saying because 90% of the people around you aren't. Does that make sense?
No.
How many news bloopers have you watched with me where somebody said something? The one we watched today, where they're asking the actor.
That was yesterday, and I don't remember.
And they're in England. And she's talking about, like, he got a part. Hey, woman.
Man. Go ahead.
Are you talking about the fist one?
No, the jacking off one. He's like, you had to beat off a lot of guys to get that part.
Oh, yeah.
You had to beat off a lot of American men. And it's, in their vernacular, they're saying you had to, like, beat out or, like, win over a bunch of people. Or, like, you had to be the head of the competition. But when you say you had to beat off a bunch of American guys to get that part, the actor himself goes, the guy behind him's going, she's going, what? You really did had to beat off a bunch of American men to get this part?
No,
And the guy behind her goes, he had to win over the competition, or like he put it in a term that was not obviously innuendo for the other 99 million people watching, because just because she didn't understand it doesn't mean that she didn't say something that a lot of people at home went, wow, that's a different type of actor altogether. I didn't know you could do that to get
that's
parts.
like the one that was like, I love getting double fisted.
Huh.
Dylan, what do you think of right there?
Yeah.
Just, you don't even have to say. And then she goes to her other coworker and she goes, you love getting double fisted too, don't you?
And she's talking about, she's got,
Yeah, say that.
her clicker's not working
Yeah.
for like changing the screens. So she's like, well, I'll go to this clicker. She's now got 2 clickers. Now I'm double fisting it. I love double. And it's like, I don't care if your mind's not there. Look at your face right now. But what you don't understand is they don't understand what they're saying.
No,
But
the other girl did.
oh, the other girl did, and she played into it too. And it's kind of like, some of the news people are like, whoa. My favorite news bloopers are the BBC ones, though, because I showed her, I've showed you. They're in every year, like news bloopers, greatest clips. There is always a BBC News network where the camera is just doing whatever the hell it wants to do. Like while the people, my favorite is the one the camera's just like lazily scrolling in a circle, and the woman's like walking, trying to catch up to it. She's talking, and then it just goes. She stops at her mark, right, and it just keeps on going.
Okay,
You got a topic?
I was watching the videos earlier, right? And I was talking about serial killers, right? It's too hard to kill people now.
What do you mean?
DNA and all that crap is so. You do anything wrong, single mess up. Mom, look up when the last serious news-wide, worldwide serial killer was.
But the
I'm talking as famous as Ted Bundy.
yeah, but see,
all
that's the issue. There's 100,000 of them going on right now
Mhm.
that are more prolific than Ted Bundy and all them. The only
It's like
difference is the news coverage doesn't give a crap anymore because nobody cares.
The one guy, right, Dylan? They found 95 bodies, right? He said, he told them, I've killed over 300 people.
What was he in jail for 10 years?
He was he was in jail for 10 years. He was acting cool, so they let him go.
They were like, we think he's good. They let him go. And immediately he's in suspect of 3 other murders and he disappears in the
Yeah,
jungle.
nobody's seen him since. This is in 19.
No, it was 2002, wasn't it?
I can't remember, but no one's seen him since they released him. No one.
They're like, your behavior's been pretty chill. I think you're rehabilitated.
See, we used to kill the serial killers.
Well, that's the thing. Like me and him were talking earlier, and anybody that watches it, I would like this to be commented and let's figure out what the statistics are on this. Like the people that I know or just people that watch this stuff. If you are sentenced to more than 1 life sentence in prison without parole, can we not just shoot your ass right there?
Yeah,
Why
one of
are
the
we
guys
wasting
was
money keeping you alive?
One guy was
not for it.
14 life sentence.
No.
How do you serve that?
No,
No.
that dude had 40.
There's one on the internet, and
The judge that reads you're going to go to hell, and then you're going to
when you get reincarnated,
Yeah.
you're going back to jail.
when you get reincarnated, when you come out, when you are born, we will come and find you and rearrest your ass, and you will spend the rest of your life in prison. And it doesn't say what he did.
It's dang. Mom, what's Google say?
It's difficult to definitively pinpoint the last known serial killer, as cases can be ongoing or unconfirmed, and the definition of serial killer can vary. However, Samuel Little, who confessed to 93 murders between 1970 and 2005, died on December 30th, 2020, making his death the last known instance of a serial killer's activity.
Is that the one that was the truck driver that we was watching? That like when they called him, like they caught
he
him on
look
like
like?
1 or 2 deaths. Black dude.
Yeah, the truck driver one, he drew out pictures of everyone he killed.
Yeah. Because you know, at first that guy when they first called him, they're like, "Bullshit, you didn't kill this many people," you know. But then
Yeah.
that's him. And then he starts giving details.
Of what he took from them.
Yeah. What they looked
Look
like,
up
what they were
what's the
wearing,
longest
where he put
ongoing
them.
I don't get the
investigation.
keeping part, or I don't. I mean, I guess, but
Dude, how many antlers you got laying around your house?
like 2.
Okay. Yeah. Were you proud of them antlers?
Not really,
I hate antlers. They're so stupid.
to be honest.
Like I would get like a deer if I killed a deer, right, and it had like a cool, I'm gonna say this, a nice rack on it. You know?
Yeah.
You know.
Got to keep a nice rack. Always
And
need to
like-
be able to look at
and
a
like,
nice rack.
I had a cool man cave. I would get it stuffed. That would be pretty cool. But like just to go in my bedroom, why would I do that?
Now, I had a buddy of mine that they had a moose. Now, granted, you don't realize how big them damn things are. But, like, their living room was the size of our living room. They had a mounted moose head hanging from the wall. Like, you sat on the couch and you had to, like, duck to keep from hitting the moose. They moved shortly. That was
What's
like a
Google
temporary
say?
house, but it was hilarious.
I
What
would
was
take
I looking up?
fingers.
Bruh. What's the
ADD.
longest going
know?
on
What?
I will take fingers if I was a serial killer. I think.
investigation? You take what?
Or fingernails. I don't know. I'd take something that couldn't
Okay.
be
Your
Fingernails?
something or jewelry. I don't know.
No,
Wallets.
I would
don't know.
not take anything.
I don't know if I take anything. Period. If
I
I'm
would-
taking something, it's the body part.
If honestly, if I'm killing people, there's gonna be no like rhyme or reason.
If I'm
Yeah,
killing
fair
people, there's going to be a reason, and
Well,
they need to die. But, I mean, like,
There's not gonna be like a this was a girl, so I killed her.
All right, Dexter.
like
Morgan.
there's a Florida. I think he was in Florida, and granted, it sounds like a Florida dude, but like he was gay and a sadomasochist, so like he went around and like started catching, raping, and killing pedophiles and rapists because he was like, this is what I get my jollies on. I don't want to do it in a manner that is detrimental to society, but like these people need to be punished for traumatizing somebody else. I get off on that. So I'll make sure their last moments they understand what they put somebody
And the
else
problem
through.
is they put those people in jail.
Well, I mean, you ought to put them in jail and they get a special cell. Oh, new one coming in, you go into the dude's cell. And they're like, oh, the dude's cell? Yeah, he'll take good care of you, man. Don't worry about it.
Well, that's like me and him were talking about is like it doesn't matter how bad you are. You could a whole prison, right? You could have people who've killed 1,000 people. I mean, gang members. It doesn't matter. A rapist comes in there, especially a child rapist.
A lot of time, a rapist in certain circles is okay, as long as it is not against a child.
Yeah.
Anybody under 18, you're screwed, bro.
Yeah.
What? What?
Were you wanting the trash can, Cam?
I'm just drinking my drink.
All right. What's Google say?
You're turning into
Google?
a hell of a producer.
Fairmont serial killings investigated in Western Australia, involving the disappearance and killings of 3 women in 1996 and 1997, is considered to be one of the state's longest running and most extensive, with a suspect arrested in 2016 and convicted in 2020. I don't know why it specifically told me about Australia. Just longest ongoing.
If he's
Investigation.
arrested, it's not ongoing.
Well,
If they
can't
haven't,
help
like,
that.
concluded the case.
Because isn't what
He was convicted in
Isn't-
2020. I
You
would
ready?
think it would be.
isn't the Zodiac one of the?
He hasn't been caught.
Yeah,
Go.
he's dead.
Yeah.
100%.
That was way too
He was
short.
like
It didn't even appear in
1970s.
the
Yeah.
story.
Mom, when did the Zodiac killings start happening?
No, wait a minute. Didn't they finally? No, it was the BTK killer they finally caught.
Yeah.
Right. What was it?
What's BTK stand for?
Bound, torture, kill.
Bind, not bound.
Same freaking thing.
It is not.
Bind is present tense. Like if you bound them and then you let them loose, then torture them, kill, it'd be a hell of a lot harder. But if you leave them tied up, it's got to be present tense, man.
1968 to 1969, December to October.
What was
Yeah,
up
but
with the 60s, man?
He killed a lot more people.
Nobody
You know
knew.
it's crazy. Yeah. Wait, was it him that had like? There's one because me and Sissy did like we were talking about this last night, which is crazy. We're talking about it
Who?
today. Me and
The
Sissy.
Zodiac Killer?
No, we're talking about. I was looking. I was freaking looking through it all the serial killers, suspected ones that we know of, the ones that we don't know of, and there's one that we don't. I think we don't know of that had like 94 and up suspected, 30 something confirmed, but like 94 and up suspected. It was crazy.
And I mean, that's we're also in a very sheltered country,
Mom,
honestly.
how many have never been
Because like you
caught?
go down to Mexico, there's sicarios down there killing 100 people a month, man. Like, come on.
Well, there's this one, the I-70 killer, or is it the
In
I-70
America.
strangler?
In America.
The Boston Strangler.
No, it was the I-70.
It was just the I-70 killer, wasn't it?
I
There's been too
think so.
many of them. They always give them
Yeah.
weird names.
Well,
Yeah.
that one had a lot of kills, but they think they might know who it is. It was something hypesters.
If I become a serial killer, I want my name to be Pookie in honor of the 5'3" extremely fat guy that taught me to do car wheels.
My thing is, why do we give them cool names?
Well, there's
My-
like the Zodiac Killer. There's a guy on TikTok who thinks it's his grandfather.
Yeah, didn't he find some stuff?
He found like he compared their writings
Mm.
and was like,
They'll never be able to get me with that.
he's like, they misspell everything the same. And they were like, and it's cool, but he's like, my granddad's dead. So it doesn't.
Yeah.
And he was like, also, my granddad was just a weird person. You couldn't talk to the dude. Like, it's not like,
Yeah, but just because the dude's weird, like my granddaddy was weird. I didn't think he was a serial killer. Like he was a womanizer and a drunkard, but he wasn't a serial killer.
He was a different kind of weird, though.
all right, Mom.
All right. It's impossible to know the exact number,
Duh. Yeah.
but authorities estimate that there are potentially between 35 and 50 serial killers on the loose in the United States, with new cases and suspects constantly emerging.
What constitutes a serial killer? That's kinda like when
three kills. or
Three
more.
kills, like when they say mass shootings, like 2 or 3 people have to die. It's like that's not a mass shooting.
yeah, you know King Von?
Yeah, King Von.
He's a serial killer, by the way.
Rappers kill everybody.
Yeah.
There's no.
Yeah, he's a. If you look at
YMW Melly wrote a song about murdering a dude.
I don't know yet.
Who
If
pull-
you're just violent and murder people for no reason, that's not a serial killer in my mind. If you have a specific fetish, it's a serial killer. If you're just fucking nuts and you're killing people for no reason, you're just nuts.
On Wikipedia.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like,
He's
if
a
I
serial
ever
killer.
just, there's not gonna be like a reason. Like the Zodiac Killer just killed them. He didn't torture them.
No,
He didn't play with them.
didn't he do couples, or am I mistaken?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, but it was all like his thing was it was only like couples and like young
Well-
lovers and stuff, wasn't it?
But he
think
killed
so.
more people. It was a newer thing.
Was that his practices?
As he got further up, because like he started out with just couples, but from the documentary I watched, the closest they ever got to catching him, one of the cops radioed in and said it's a blackmail, and it wasn't. That's not what was supposed to be radioed in.
Mm-hmm.
So the cops actually most likely walked past him.
Oh,
And that guy got fired.
oh yeah.
It's like how almost Ted Bundy almost got caught.
Like you also got to put yourself in like the position of like the cops and stuff in these scenarios. Like you could understand how like bias could like what is it, confirmation bias?
Look, no offense.
Like where you think something, you need something to be, so you do everything to make it that way.
I've been listening to a lot of I've been at serial killers here lately.
Yeah, you quit doing reverse exorcisms and now you're studying serial killers. That's always a good
Cops
sign.
were useless back in the day. They by the sounds of it, they were stupid and useless.
Some of them. A lot of people think the Zodiac Killer was a cop
It makes sense to be honest.
because the one of the lead investigate or one of the prime suspects was a patrol officer around the first killing that patrolled that park in his car, not in uniform. and just, he was supposed to patrol the area. So a lot of people do think it was a cop.
I mean, there's a lot of situations where I think stuff like that did
And
happen.
there are cops who do that.
I mean, think about the good
I'd
old
be a cop if I decided to be a serial killer. I think.
think about the good old boy
Some.
mentality in most like
Dude,
small towns,
Quit
even big
telling
towns.
the world what you would do if you're a serial killer, you moron.
Just
So
saying.
we know, guys, if Dylan becomes a cop, he's a serial killer.
Yeah, he's either going to have to arrest half my family or become a serial killer, whichever one you want to do, Dylan.
Well, just if I become a cop, just don't rat me out.
I can if you kill me.
I'm not gonna kill
You
nobody.
coming for me, Dylan?
No,
Oh, okay.
you wouldn't be my.
That wouldn't be your price.
You wouldn't
That's
be my,
that's
I'm not your
probably,
type.
That's probably the scarier thing, right? Is the people who do it without an ulterior motive or
Ulterior motive.
yeah.
They don't
Like-
have a passion or a drive. It's just a need to kill.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's terrifying.
But I understand that one more.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like like the need to just freak out and kill something is very easy to understand. Like just sheer rage. But like I'm going to torture this thing I'm going to intentionally cause another human being like pain for no reason. I can't understand that. But like
Yeah, it
the idea of, oh, you made me mad, or like you challenged me to a fight and I would rather shank you in the ribs than fight. I don't see nothing wrong with that. Like there was an old dude at a co-op a few years back. Like young dude's just, he's trashing him like for a week. He's just picking, making fun at him. He's pulling pranks on him. The old dude kept telling him, like, leave me alone. I'm old. I'm tired of your crap. And so the dude followed him out to his truck after work, right? And just trashed him the whole time. And the old dude kept telling him, dude, if I get to my truck, this is going to stop. And he casually opened the door, fool reaches in there, pulls out a double-barrel 12-gauge, turns around, sticks it in his guts, and pulls the trigger. Kills him. And everybody's like, well, why'd you do this? I told him leave me alone. I told him not to threaten me. I told him not to follow me to my truck. I told him I'm old and I ain't got time for this crap.
Yeah.
Like, I don't see anything wrong. That dude was warned multiple times. Your actions are fixing to forfeit your life.
Yeah.
A grown man, if you're 18 years old, if you make a decision that causes your life to end through stupidity, I don't think somebody should be able to be charged for it.
No.
If two guys agree to fight, I think we should still be able to duel.
I would love to do that.
Like if two grown adult men decide we're going to duel to the death, there should be nobody that should be able to stop them, and they should be allowed to do what they like. We should have autonomy over our own daggum lives. Like, I know cops that have said, we're told to shoot them before they shoot themselves because it's illegal to commit suicide.
It's illegal to shoot someone too, right?
Because it's taken someone's life. Like, suicide is murder, so it's illegal to commit murder. So instead of letting them kill themselves, put the murder on your mind,
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
it's just, why?
I don't know.
Somebody wants to jump off a bridge. Like, there are a lot of sad situations, and there are a lot of people that need help. But there are certain times and instances where, like, the dude that stopped us going to Atlanta sat in traffic for 5.5 hours because his wife left him. So he's going to go to, jump off a bridge, but he stands there for forever, stands still in traffic. Cops finally get close enough to him to get a hand on him. He starts fighting them. On the news, 4 or 5 cops are fighting him, trying to hold him over the rail, and they finally drop him because he's fighting so hard. They couldn't hold on to him. As soon as they drop him, they just stand up and walk away. He broke like every bone in his body and lived. You wasted a crap ton of people's time. The one thing you wanted, I want my wife to come back. Now, for anybody in this situation, if you hear these sentences, listen to what I'm saying. The logic that you are following is very hard to get out of when you're in a very emotional state. But if you can, in that moment, you're thinking, I'm going to kill myself. I'm going to hang myself, jump, whatever. Like, stop and think. Why? Like, actually logic to yourself. Try to lay out the reasons why. Let's give me 10 logical reasons why I actually need to die. It's very hard to do. Even if I'm a terrible person.
Yeah.
It's very hard for me to sit there and actually look in the mirror and give myself 10 logical reasons why I need to be removed from the earth. And then also, stop and think. Think of the 5 people in the world that you love the most, whether they like you or not. Even people that you're just familiar. Sometimes a guy at a gas station that smiles at you every morning, greets you and says good day, sometimes the tiniest little interactions can mean a lot to people. So if you're listening, think about anybody. It could be the person that just says good morning to you when you go into work, even though you don't have any other interaction. They got a smile on their face like my wife when she's at work. A grin ear to ear, even though she's mad most of the time because like her job's stressful. But that smile means something to people. Think of that person and say, if I had the opportunity to be that for somebody else going forward, could I be that person that gives somebody else a reason to want to like wake up and do something? Because a lot of times, if you can take that focus away from your misery and pain and understand that you have the capability of alleviating others, it is a huge driving factor to help you. Like, why am I doing this? Yes, I'm miserable, but that doesn't mean everybody else has to be miserable. I can take my misery, put a smile on my face, and help somebody else. You bless somebody else and help somebody else, a lot of times it takes your focus away from your own stupidity and pain. Like, doesn't always work. Seek help. Like, you know, there's thousands of services, there's hotlines, there's people, there's friends. Talk to a stranger. That person that smiles at you every day. This happens to me. I have had people talk to me about stuff like this because I strike up random conversations. You know, sometimes you got to take a risk. I've had people just drop some heavy crap on me that I barely know. The person that I wave to or talk to at the store every day when I see them at the store. You know, like stuff like that. And they've come out and told me some really messed up stuff.
Yeah.
And like I've been able to either from that point on give them my phone number and say, hey, call me when you need me. And like I'm serious when I tell people if I give you my number and tell you to call me, I don't care if it's 2:00 in the morning. I don't care what time, what day. If you need me, if that phone will ring for me, because I'm not always in service, but like if that phone will ring for me, I will be there for you. If hell or high water, like you can ask my wife. I've had people call 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, and I said, baby, I'm going. I may be back at 2 or 3 in the morning. I may not be back to the next day, but like if someone needs me, I'm going.
Yeah.
But like that's the thing. Like you think no one cares. Somebody does. And it could be somebody that you wouldn't think, you know, least in the world. There are people that I run into a guy at the gummy shop the other day. You remember him. Real rough voice, real graspy voice, but always smiling, real chill. Worked at the corner store. We've seen him for years. If I showed you his face, you'd be like, yeah, I know him. But like I would talk to him for 20, 30 minutes every time I, got a chance. Like when I wasn't busy and like store wasn't busy, we'd sit and chat. I haven't seen him in a year or two. I run into him at the gummy shop the other day. He instantly, when I walked in the door, he's like, brother, what's up? And like we talked, I got to catch up. He's doing good. He's working at a store in Murfreesboro. But like that's the type of stuff I'm talking about for the people that are listening. Somebody that you have barely any interaction with might care about you enough to really want to help you.
Heck yeah.
Did he go to pee?
I think so.
Probably.
Oh.
We are 2 minutes past.
Why weren't you gang signing us?
I was distracted by listening to you.
That's not good.
Oh, it's good.
Oh.
Your life's worth living.
I mean, that's the gist of it.
Yeah.
I mean, and don't get me wrong, there is reasons to sacrifice your life.
Yeah.
Like,
a motorcycle.
Burning, like a burning building. There's people inside. You can help them. Like there's, a robbery.
Yeah.
Dylan, put yourself in front of everybody. Like that. That's the guy jumps on a grenade. That's not suicide. That's not misery. That's I am sacrificing my life because I view others above myself.
That's noble.
Yes, that's that's a good thing. Everything come out okay?
Good.
So you want us to wrap it up? Is that what you're saying?
Put that there.
You still got it. Like, what is this question you had?
So just like, sorry guys, I had to urinate.
Thanks for telling everybody.
Dude, don't do that. Good Lord, he just got us canceled on YouTube. Like, he almost went straight arm. He thought about it. He was like, yeah, I'm half Scottish, not all German.
So Dylan, what movie?
What?
You at the
This
beginning
guy's
were
an
like,
idiot.
I got a question.
I know. I
and
forgot
then we were
about
like,
it,
what's the
so-
question? You were
Somebody
like,
said The Grudge.
The Grudge. That's the only time
And
your
he
mom was
said,
really,
oh, yeah.
really woke me up from my sleep angry at me.
The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind.
Oh,
The
yeah.
answer's
Bringo, here we go.
blowing in the wind. Hurry up and say it before you forget.
Dang, I forgot. Malika, why'd you say something?
Hurry up.
Not really a question. You like Transformers?
The movie or the cartoons?
Both.
I don't know. Yes and no.
Both all right.
There's a new one
Still like Dylan.
called Transformers 1. I thought it was going to be terrible. I watched it Sunday night. It was pretty good.
Oh, are
Pretty
you
good
talking about
Transformers.
the cartoon one that
Yeah,
came out?
pretty good Transformers. I'm not going to lie.
Hey,
Pretty
hey,
good Transformers.
Watch A Complete Unknown. It's on Hulu.
If it's free.
It's on Hulu.
If it's free.
What?
I don't have Hulu.
You have my Hulu.
If I still have the password.
He has our Hulu?
Everybody has our Hulu.
Yeah, this is true.
Everybody has our Hulu. That's why when you cancel it, I was like, I can't wait for the, hey, you still got Hulu? Because Dylan has our Hulu. I think all the Moons have our Hulu.
I mean,
Maul
I knew they
has
did.
it.
Maul doesn't watch it anymore. She doesn't know how to use it.
And then all of us have it.
I was watching that Japanese show, Dynasty. Is that what it's called?
Dynasty?
Shogun?
Shogun?
Shogun.
Dude, that is a good series.
I haven't finished it. I'm bad about not finishing series.
It is
I don't
an
know, I
incredible
thought-
series.
I thought
Dynasty
I-
sounds like a
I thought I was going to
Roman
have to
show.
re-log in
It was a soap opera.
because Dad didn't pay for it for like a month. I thought I was going to have to re-log in, but I just turned my phone on and I was already logged in. So did you not change the password?
No, why would I do that?
I don't know.
Apparently, everybody.
Hey
already
guys,
has it.
y'all want to know our Hulu password? I got you. So
I don't have it.
you don't? I got you.
Oh goodness! All right. What do we do with the, like us, subscribe to us? If you don't like
Listen to
enjoy
Bob
us,
Dylan.
Yes, listen. to Bob
comment us,
Dylan.
listen to Bob Dylan. I guess.
Because no, because the amount of people I've had this week say, I don't know who that is.
That's
You need to know who Bob Dylan is.
sacrilege right there.
You just need to know. So look up Bob Dylan.
Which camera are we at?
Look
there's
up
not
Bob
looking like
Look up Bob Dylan.
Yeah, and when you're done with that, look up Pete and Bass and enjoy yourself.
No, don't.
I don't know that one either, so don't feel bad.
I love Pete and Bass.
Like, subscribe, and look up Bob Dylan.
I hope you enjoy.